correct me if I'm wrong, but you're the one with the girlfriend. You're still stranded on third base.
At least I know what third base feels like. You're still just a bat boy.
Bat boy, what are you talking about?
The following program
How I Built the Sex Bible for Thomas Ian Nicholas.
is classified PG. It contains sexual references
Chris Stanley.
and recommends parental guidance for young viewers.
Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. Welcome to a storytime video, a very niche bucket list storytime video at that. So a few weeks ago, you guys probably saw I interviewed Thomas Ian Nicholas, who played Kevin Myers in American Pie 1, 2, American Wedding, and of course, American Reunion. Not just that, this dude's a Michael Myers victim. He was also Rookie of the Year. He was a kid in King Arthur's court. Like, the dude has done it all, child actor, and now he performs with his Thomas Ian Nicholas band. He tours. He also has like a theater show where he does stories from the set of American Pie whilst also playing with his band. So it's a great niche little thing he's got going on there and just keeping the legacy of American Pie alive. Enter my good friend Ryan and my other good friend Draz of the Movie Nerds. So I've known these guys for, I think, God, 17, 18. Fuck, 8 years now. Okay, so I think we met doing the cons here in Sydney and Australia, and then they started Movie Nerds and like a lot of pop culture coverage. They specialize in old school nostalgic action figures and coverage of that shit that we grew up with. Anyway, Ryan took it upon himself to try and start to bring celebrities from our childhood in the 80s and 90s out here to Australia, and his first one is Thomas Ian Nicholas. And today's video is going to be about me building a replica of the Sex Bible from the first American Pie to present to Thomas here in Sydney tonight and auction it off. So again, this is a very niche bucket list, but before we get to any of that, I want to tell you what Thomas Ian Nicholas means to me. And I do not want this to be a sob story or anything. This is just my personal journey. It sounds so lame, but Thomas played a very big part in, I guess, my teenage years, and all more for the positive. So American Pie 1 came out in the year 2000. It was like a rite of passage to see it here in Australia because our generation, our age group, weren't allowed to see it in cinemas. So usually you'd see it at a sleepover if one of your friends' parents rented it because they're fucking great parents. And again, it was like our version of Porky's or Animal House. And then a few years later, American Pie 2 came along. And when I was watching American Pie 1, for some reason, I always just resonated with the character of Kevin Myers. I don't know. And I'd always recognized Thomas from Rookie of the Year, a kid in King Arthur's court. And then when I was watching American Pie 2, this was at a time where I was a bit more of a heavy set kid. I weighed more than I do now, and I was shorter than I am now. I'm 5'9" now. And I think I was like 5'6" back then and like 85 kilos. And I'm like 78, 79 now. So like leaned out a bit. But for being in year 8, that's pretty overweight. And I definitely ate my feelings. I remember watching American Pie 2 on DVD in my parents' rumpus room. And I had a box of pizza shapes. For those who aren't Australian, pizza shapes, barbecue, chicken crimpy, they are fucking life. They are beautiful. They're a great snack. I remember munching down on them, a box of shapes. And usually I'd polish one of those off easily. Watching the boys in American Pie 2 when they're at the lake house, and they're all trim, they're all slim, they're not like jacked and ripped or anything, they just look healthy and normal. And I remember looking at the box of shapes, and I just put it down, I'm like, no more. And this started my weight loss journey. I wound up losing 25 kilos over the course of about a year. May have dipped into a bit of unhealthy weight territory, but then I learned, weight training and putting on muscle, putting on healthy weight, and then got into a proper gym routine, and I essentially haven't stopped. Yeah! And I'll always remember that. Thomas was a big inspiration for that. Like, obviously not just him, but like Jason Biggs, Sean William Scott, Chris Klein, Eddie K. Thomas. But the character of Kevin and Thomas as an actor just always stood out to me, and I kind of just resonated with him because he just seems so chill. Cut to 2018, I'm in the United States. I'm a guest at San Diego Comic-Con, and I see that Thomas has a booth downstairs. I was on a break, and I wanted to go down, introduce myself, and just say thank you for the inspiration and, you know, how you've helped me, like, and how you've shaped me as a person. So I went down, introduced myself, loveliest dude, and he says, "How long are you here for?" I go, "About 2 more weeks." And he goes, "Do you want to be in a movie?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good, thanks, mate. Fuck you." I jumped at the chance. I'm like, hell yeah, man. Like, what is it? And he goes, "Look, it's a movie called Adverse. I'm playing the hero, and it's like more of like it goes against type about of what I usually do. There's more serious, more drama, action. It's got Mickey Rourke in it. I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Yes, absolutely. And he texts me, he's like, yep, this is the location. And it's in Lincoln Heights, this abandoned factory that you see right here that they use for a lot of shoots. Like Bat and the Sun do a lot of shoots here as well, which is cool. The really cool thing is this is a few blocks away from the Lincoln Heights jail, which is now condemned, where they filmed all the boiler room scenes for the first Nightmare on Elm Street. So like I was in the area. It was so cool. So anyway, part of this scene was it's a one tracking shot down the hallway. Thomas has a rubber tire iron and he goes to each room and he clocks all of us and kills us with one swipe with the tire iron. So he choreographed it, blocked it, everything. I was in the room with someone who I swear was a real drug dealer, just the way he was talking, because he's like teaching me how to snort fake lines of cocaine. I'm like, I've never done this before, so can you help me? So I think we were the third room that he comes into. So you have to like hear the audio cues of him going room to room, and you hear like, you know, the grunting and the struggle, and then he comes into our room, and it's supposed to be one swipe gets us both. And like logistically and like physics wise, it doesn't really work, but it's one of those things where you suspend disbelief because it's an action movie. That was great. That was a lot of fun. And then we wrapped on that one, and then we had something to eat and we had a bit of a break, and it was time for me to go home, but I wanted to get a photo with him and just thank him once again. And it was cool. Like now and then we'd always stay in touch. But going back to Ryan and Draz of the Movie Nerds, they're bringing him out here. He is currently here in Sydney, and tonight he's going to be doing a screening of American Pie 1 for his 25th anniversary. And I got tasked by Ryan and Draz to build a replica of the sex Bible that you see in the first American Pie that is very well placed in the fluid dynamics section hidden in the library. So here is the replica in all its glory, and I like to think I got it pretty close. Now I'm going to show you guys the inside of the Bible. 95% of the pages are dummy pages because it would just take way too long to try and fill this thing up. And yeah, I don't have the time to do that. But there are certain pages that I wanted to replicate from the film that you actually see and that are quite prevalent on screen. So the way I built this, the base is actually an MDF craft box, like a jewelry box you get from Bunnings Warehouse. I've used them heaps of times in custom collectibles. Actually, Mohawk is standing on a gloss black one right now, which is cool. I then gutted it and sanded it, and then I wrapped it in like a very dark green vinyl and like contacted, hid it down, wrapped it and stuff like that. This piece that you see here is a real leather hide that I actually checked myself into a leather workshop to do all the embossing myself, as you see right here. It was actually a school holidays class, so I'm sharing it with kids, and it was just weird. It was like Billy Madison. I'm like the oldest one there, and I'm like learning how to emboss leather, then hand dyed it, hand weathered it. This photo here, I for the life of me could not figure out what the fuck it was, what the name of it was. I Googled everything, you know, Renaissance paintings, nude Renaissance painting, could not find it. Thomas at one point was even going to reach out to Paul Weitz, the director, and try and get reference from him because apparently he still has the original prop. But what it came down to was I got a 4K snapshot, a direct shot of the photo, printed it off, and then stuck it under there. And we've got the screws, we've got the washers and everything. This right here, the spine, I just found it on Canva and printed it off. The tape here is just like masking tape. So originally it was like a trapper keeper, and then people have just added things over the years. So you even see the 1990 there, that is in the film on the pages. So I just try to fill it with as much random shit as possible. So like we've got this, like my American crew will recognize that, like that is a pretty common textbook in the States. Not really here, but I couldn't believe Officeworks had it. Now the pages I'm about to show you, please keep in mind I did have a little warning at the beginning of this video that there are sexual references because I wanted to replicate some pages from the film, most notably the tongue tornado. So I got the post-it notes of where the pages start, and I hope you guys get a Jonesin out of this. So let's start with this page here. This isn't in the film, but I just wanted this to be like a bit of an Easter egg. So we've got the boys when they're trying to lose their virginity, and then after prom, and then I've got from Boys to Men, and I've got as if Stifler has found the book, and he's got Shipbreak, he's got Fuckface, and he says Stifler was here down the bottom with that S we all drew back in the 90s. Now this page here, these photos are directly lifted from the film, and I straightened them up. The Know Your Enemy page about vibrators, and I replicated the writing as well. There is no way you could ever hope to compete with this, so use it to your advantage. If used correctly, a woman may not know who is responsible for her pleasure. Never leave her alone with one. It was really hard to try and like determine what words were what, and because it's just a lot of running, writing, and stuff like that. Like, the prop makers probably had a field day making this. The next page, this is a bit of an Easter egg. This isn't in the actual book, but if you guys have seen American Pie, The Book of Love, you find out that Noah Levinstein, Jim's dad, portrayed by the always brilliant Eugene Levy, created the Bible and was like the first one to check it out of the library. So I found an old photo of Eugene Levy and put Noah Levinstein and tried to like figure out the date of when he would have been in high school, so 1964, the creator. Now this is a bit of an explicit one. This is an actual lift from the film, just certain positions. And then last but certainly not least, this is the piece de resistance. This is the tongue tornado page. Now in the film, there is a photo very similar to this one. I couldn't find it. It just looked like a hand sketch piece from one of the prop builders or prop masters. So I found something very similar, but the goal was to really recreate the tongue tornado page. So if you remember in the film, it folds out. I've done exactly that. And my darling wife, Chloe, helped me with the handwriting because it's more legible handwriting in the film. And Chloe has very neat handwriting as opposed to me. So those are the main pages that I replicated for the book. So like I said, everything else is like dummy pages. There is the front page, which is also a lift from the film when Kevin first opens it in the library. I have no idea what the fuck it says. I just straightened it up, printed it, and slapped it on there. Now, this was a leftover piece of hide, same hide that I used for the front. This is left blank for Thomas to sign tonight. So we are going to auction it off. But now I got to get ready. I got to hop on a train, grab an Uber, and then we're going to head to the Hayden Orpheum, where we actually had the premiere of Uncharted a year and a bit ago. So that's where the screening's going to be. But I'm going to get in a bit earlier because Ryan and Draz want me to present this to Thomas privately. That doesn't sound sus at all. And it's kind of that full circle moment for me. I'm really excited to share this with you guys. This is the big deal for me and hope he gets a kick out of it. So I better go have a shower. And no, you can't see that unless you pay. All right, so we're all packed, ready to go. So I've got my original American Pie DVD for Thomas to sign. Got the Bible ready to go. Got my good camera. This is the one I usually film with for all my videos. And a hat, just in case. I really do need to find a new hat. This is the one I always wear in videos, and it's pleather, and it's starting to just come apart. And the fuckers are so hard to find, and I just love it. All right, so I'm at the Orpheum, and where is he? The man, the myth, the legend, Draz is just setting up over there. So Ryan has gone to pick Thomas up. He's been doing some interviews. And it'll be a nice little reunion and then gift this man the Bible. So I was going to auction it off, but I've decided to gift it to him just as a thank you. So he doesn't know that yet. And yes, tonight you can get yourself a cup of Kevin's Pale Ale, which is just a pale ale beer. Whether there's jizz in there or not, I can't tell you. We've got CDs for Thomas to sign, box set, DVD covers. We have a original Rookie of the Year Laserdisc, which is very cool. Rookie of the Year jerseys, posters, American Pie posters, and these, which Draz and Ryan had specially made, trading cards. Limited edition trading cards. So we got Thomas as Kevin, and then we got Thomas performing, and then Rookie of the Year. So very, very cool.
There he is.
Dude! How are you,
man?
What's up, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm gonna crush your microphone.
How you doing, man?
Dude, you missed my grand entrance out there. I was in the car finishing an interview.
Yeah.
But Ryan had turned the alarm on, so when I opened the door, the alarm went off on the car.
You're just fucking making trouble.
And then the music started, and it seriously was like, da-da-da, da-da-da-da.
Can we tell everyone here how we first met and how we first worked together?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So this is a big story, man. I'll try and keep it short and sweet. San Diego Comic-Con 2018. I was a guest, you were a guest. Went downstairs to introduce myself because you played a big part in my upbringing, as weird as that sounds.
Sex education.
Yeah. I remember watching American Pie 2, and I had a box of pizza shapes in my hand, and I was a heavyset kid in high school. And I remember watching you, Jason, Eddie, Chris, Sean, everyone, and I'm like, these guys look great. So with that, I put the box of shapes down, and I'm like, yeah. So I went on to lose 25 kilos because of you. I always resonated with you on screen. And I just didn't even realize 25th anniversary, 25 kilos. Yeah,
I see what you did there.
yeah, so I always resonated with you as Kevin Myers and to meet you in 2018, and then you invited me to be in a movie with you when you beat the shit out of me with a tire iron.
I did.
And it was so good. It was so good. Dude, I just want to say thank you. So Ryan and Draz bestowed upon me to make a replica of the Sex Bible.
Holy shit.
So we have pages in here. My wife helped me replicate the tongue tornado page.
I don't know if you want to tell everyone that on a microphone.
There may be a few pages stuck together. It's fine. It's okay.
I remember being in Paul White's office,
Yep.
and he has the original.
So he still has it.
He still has it.
Yep.
And I was like, man, that was my book. Why didn't I steal that shit? Why is it in his office? And now, thanks to Chris Stanley, I have my own! I'm not taking this one back to the library!
So originally we were going to auction this off, but brother, I want you to have this, and I want you to take this around the world. So where the tabs are the pages that I've replicated. Everything else is a dummy page. I want you to fill it with good times, memories, everything. Just thank
Are
you.
you serious?
For everything, man. Yeah, thank you for everything. Fill it with good times.
Yeah.
Get people to write in it.
I mean,
Whatever they want. Like
all right. I mean, it's, you know,
advice.
we're going to get them to fill in some good tips.
Just a tip.
Make some noise for Chris Stanley for this.